Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So as requested, today's video is going to be about 15 government programs that can provide assistance when you are in financial need. Unemployment rate is climbing right now with over 7 million Americans that are out of work at this moment in time. The Bureau of Labor Statistics actually just did the largest down revision of the job numbers in history, revising job creation numbers from April 2024 to March 2025. Down by 911,000 jobs, the largest down revision in American history. And since January of this year, of 2025, more than 800,000 people have been laid off from their job. It has been reported that no matter what your tax bracket is, more Americans than ever are applying for bankruptcy. There is a massive amount of consumers in credit card debt right now. People are struggling to keep their homes, to pay their mortgage. It's a mess, y'all. And these numbers are only expected to get worse, which is very scary considering that the 911,000 jobs that were revised were never there. They never existed. They were fabricated. They were fake. And as a early millennial, someone in her early 40s, I was there when the housing crash happened in 2008, 2009, and this is giving me those same vibes, just not based on vibes, but based on the information that keeps coming out in terms of the job market, the economy, the tariffs, and everything that's really affecting American people's everyday lives. So I say this to say the writings are on the wall again. I don't mean to fearmonger people, but this video is to intention and purposes is to help people get a head step in figuring out how they're going to provide for themselves if they don't have that financial cushion that, you know, a lot of us are exhausting or going through because there is no job market right now. It's just a mess. Federal government alone is climbing in their own debt. Like I think they have $34 trillion in debt. So consumer debt is rising as well. And it's just all signs are pointing to a weakening economy. So many people are living off of your 401k, your savings, and you're depleting those resources, right? So these are just programs that can help you during financial crisis. Context, I have been underemployed since March 2024. I've been living off of my savings, but I did have to tap into some of these resources in order to keep food on the table and stuff like that. And if more than 7 million people right now are searching for work, and then you add the cost of living, the tariffs, interest rates, it just seems like this is triggering a collapse in some way. So I, again, seeing the writings on the wall, just want us to be ready and prepared for what's to come and at least get a head start on applying for these programs if you're able to, if you're eligible to, just so you can get the paperwork and everything started, because it does take a lot of time. I've actually written my state representatives. I went on their websites and I sent them emails through their websites. And then I also am planning to call them tomorrow and Friday to just talk about extending unemployment benefits, because if you were let go from your job, you are eligible to get unemployment benefits if you were let go, not if you were fired. Unemployment benefits in the US cap at 26 weeks. So not all of us can survive on unemployment benefits after 26 weeks, especially if there are 7 million Americans and climbing that are out of work or going to be out of work. And it just seems with all of these mass layoffs in corporate America, the mass layoffs within the federal government, in the healthcare, like it just seems no matter which industry you're looking at, there are no jobs to be found. So this is something that I just think is going to be a great resource for a lot of people who don't know where to look. And a lot of this information is not publicized because of the stigma of being a government program. And no one really wants to talk about it, but I promised that I would. So here I am, and let's get into it. And for this purpose of this video, I'm going to be specifically talking about New York City. These are the resources that are provided because this is my state, my area where I live in. But I know not everybody lives in New York City. I'll just point out some national programs, but my goal in this video is to provide you the information that you need to make these programs work for you. Quick disclaimer before we dive in, I am not a lawyer, I am not a government worker, I am someone who's just trying to get by. This video is really for educational purposes only, and I'm sharing research that I've done on my own and sharing personal experiences as well. If you are listening to the news and you understand what's going on with this government, news changes every day, right? So these programs are getting slashed. Do your own research with the information that I'm giving you to follow up and follow through and see if these programs are still available where you are, because this man is actively trying to get rid of them. So that being said, please double check with your local agency. For New York City, we have the HRA, the Human Resource Administration. So that's who I would call for more information about the programs that I'm about to dive into. Just reach out to your Department of Human Services or Social Services within your state or your local area for more information. In this video, I'm going to break government programs that provide real practical help for people struggling in need. In New York City, we have an agency called the Human Resource Administration, aka the HRA, and they are the local agency that is in charge of managing all of these benefits. Some of these are national and available to everyone, like SNAP and Medicaid or Lifeline. And some are very specifically to New York City, like the Fairfare's MetroCard, which is a half-price MetroCard that we would use to get around the tri-state area. But no matter what state you're in or what city you're in, you have these resources available to you. Cash assistance to SNAP, to Fairfares, to Medicaid benefits, everything under that umbrella, they're the ones that manage it. In other states, like I said earlier, the HRA would fall under a program such as the Department of Social Services, Department of Human Services, and this is sometimes combined with children and or health services. So some common equivalents for other states include California, you have the Department of Social Services, the CDSS, New Jersey Department of Human Services, DHS, Texas Health and Human Services Commission, HHSC, Florida Department of Children and Families, DCF, Illinois Department of Human Services, IDHS, Massachusetts Department of Transitional Assistance, DTA, Pennsylvania Department of Human Services, DHS, and then we have Georgia Division of Family and Children Services, DFCS. So people outside the New York City don't call the Human Resources Administration the HRA. That's something that we use internally within the city. In your state, it will most likely be called Human Services, Social Services, Family Assistance, things along those lines. While the name is a little different, the goal of these agencies are all the same, to help people in need. What is the HRA? The Human Resource Administration, aka the HRA, is New York City's local main social service agency. And it's basically the hub for most public assistance programs within the city. And the way the HRA manages all of this is through a website and a mobile app called Access HRA. And Access HRA is where you'll be able to apply for these benefits. And it's only through the mobile app that you're able to upload documents that they're requesting of you, because they're going to ask you a lot of information that you need to be very truthful and honest, because you will get in trouble. Okay, so don't lie about anything. Be honest about what your situation is. And the only way that you can upload any of this information that they're requesting of you, the documentation that they're asking of you, is through the Access HRA app. You can't do this on the desktop at all, not the website. You have to do this through the Access HRA app. So you do need a phone in order to do this. And the HRA also partners with other agencies like the MTA for the Fairfare's half-priced MetroCard. They also partner with the Department of Health for Medicaid, and they partner with National Grid, Con Ed for utility bill assistance as well. So that's Medicaid, Fairfares, SNAP, Lifeline, energy assistance. Should also look like rent assistance. So who qualifies for these programs? Usually it's tied to the federal poverty level, and it's usually low income to no income households, and that is inclusive of unemployed people, part-time workers, families, and some immigrants, seniors, and people with disabilities as well. And each program under the Human Resource Administration, the HRA, has their own income threshold limits that qualify you for these programs. And that's usually at the federal poverty level. So for SNAP, for example, you're a family of one. Your monthly gross income is $1,632 per the HRA government website. Your annual gross income is $19,584 as a family of one. A family of two, your monthly gross income is $2,215, and your annual gross income as a family of two per this government website is $26,580, and so on as your family size increases. So roughly for a family of three, that brings you to around $2,800 a month in terms of the being at the federal poverty level. Medicaid and Fair Fares, they all follow something similar in terms of what their income threshold is in order for you to qualify for the program. So make sure you go on these websites, you double check, triple check, quadruple check to make sure that you are eligible. But yeah, like if you are underemployed too, you can qualify for these programs as well. Is that you apply for the program and they're going to ask you a bunch of questions. They're going to ask you what your rent is. Do you have a credit card debt? Do you have a savings account? Do you have a checking account? Do you have 401k? Like they're going to ask you all this information, and make sure you provide them the factual, truthful documentation of the things that they're requesting of you, because you can get in federal legal trouble, and that we don't want that. You get the Access HRA app on your phone. They're going to ask you to upload all these documents. And again, like I said at the beginning of this video, you can't do that via the website. You can only do that on a mobile phone. So make sure you have like a smartphone that you're able to take pictures, and then you can actually take the picture of a document on your phone through the app and then submit that image as a submission for the documents requested. Rules apply to anything that you apply for. They're going to ask for proof of identification. So you're going to need a driver's license, state ID, passport. They're going to ask maybe for your social security card as well. So proof of who you are. They're going to ask for proof of address. So that can be a lease, a utility bill, or an official letter. Like say that you are a renter and you have a landlord, then you can ask the landlord for a letter to say like, yes, this person does live here. If you are the owner of a home, you can ask your mortgage company to ask for a letter to say, yes, this person owns this property, because only in this country is not really a thing, but it is a thing, but whatever, there's all a different conversation. But anyway, gonna look at your wages, so pay stubs. They're gonna ask you for your unemployment benefits if you're receiving them, because that is considered income, taxable income in the United States. They're gonna ask you like child support, social security, and any other money coming in. So anything that's considered income, they want to know your business, okay? Any income coming into the home, they need to know, they want to know. So if you have a family member that's helping you out with $2,000 a month, they drop it into your bank account, every month, let them know, because they're gonna ask you for your checking account, the statement, and then you're gonna have to explain to them where is this $2,000 every month coming from. I'm just using that as an example. So whatever income you have coming into the household, please disclose that information truthfully, because no one wants to get in trouble with the law, okay? Then they're also going to take accounts like your rent, your mortgage, childcare costs, how much you spend for food for your entire family for the month, transportation costs, like how much do you spend for gas or the MetroCard if you use it, again, specifically for New York City. So like how much do you pay for your gas, how much do you pay for your heat, your hot water, your childcare cost, food, how much do you spend on clothing a month, how much do you spend on bills, everything collectively they're gonna so make sure you itemize and you have like exact numbers to give them, so you're not scrambling or finding this information at the last minute, because it is a lot to gather all the information that they're asking of you. Ask you for your medical expenses, so make sure you get all them bills put together so they can see that you are drowning, like most of us are in this country, with medical debt. But they take all of these things collectively into consideration in accounting if you qualify for these specific programs, because they're all, again, individual programs under the same umbrella of the social services Human Resources Administration. These actual benefits really depend on your income and all the information that you are providing the HRA or your social service agency. So same rules apply. You're going to go to accesshra.gov, and then you're going to fill out all the information that they're requesting. They're going to reach out to you. You're going to need to do a phone interview. I would say for the phone interview, do not give up, because like I said, there are so many people getting assistance. I can't explain how many people are getting assistance. And then on the opposite end of it, a lot of people are getting let go from federal agencies. So they don't have the manpower in-house. And then there are more people that are in need. So it's a lot of waiting. So just make sure that you give yourself some patience and time, and just power through, because you can wait up to 8 hours to get someone on the phone for your interview, your required interview to move forward in the process. So you don't want that to happen. So just be resilient and be strong and just try to hold on. But sometimes you get someone right away. Sometimes it's going to take hours, maybe even days. So hold on, just hold tight, okay? Because some of these programs do require you to be interviewed in person, especially if you're saying you have a disability. They want to, talk to you about it, get all the medical information from you, proof of what the disability is, and because they have to assess you. It's a medical assessment. They also do a job assessment for another program that we'll get into called WeCARE. Once you're approved, yay, you are now going to get your government benefits depending on the program. But say you're getting SNAP, Medicaid, and the fair fares, they're going to give you an EBT card. And this is a transactional debit card that is used for everything. This is like, when I say you need to guard this card with your life, because it's just like a credit card, but even more so like a debit card. This card is your all-in-one transactional debit card. So think of it just like that, like your Chase, your TD Bank, your Bank of America card or debit card. This is just like that. They're going to give you a temporary card that you're going to have to go down to the Medicaid offices, the HRA offices, to go pick up the card. You go to the place. There's a lot of people there, because I'm saying there's a lot of people getting assistance. When I say there's a lot of people, there's a lot of people. Benefits reload every month like clockwork. They do. There were some delays I've heard when the guy in the White House who, when he cut some of the benefits, or at least started to, like, people were saying that they got their payments delayed. And it has happened. So just be mindful. And again, your app is your best friend, the Access HRA app, because you can see all of the activity, past activity and upcoming activity, like next payments and things like that, interviews that they're going to require you to go to. Here in New York, like Trader Joe's accepts EBT, Target accepts EBT. Some of the 99-cent stores around here accept EBT. The delis around here accept EBT. So you can use your SNAP benefits, to get a sandwich or something. It has to be cold food. I'll go through a list of the things that are approved for SNAP and things that aren't approved for SNAP. And hot food is one of those things. So like you can't get like a soup or something, or you can't get like a hot rotisserie chicken. You can only get cold food. So you can get sandwiches or things like that, salads, with your SNAP benefit card. And then you can, go to Trader Joe's and then you buy your groceries and you can pay with that. And then usually on the pin pad, you're going to choose, it's going to say food or cash, and you're going to choose food. And then that's going to deplete from that pool of money, because there is also, like I said, this is an all-in-one transactional debit card. So this card is also used for cash assistance, to pay for your fair fares MetroCard. And then also it's a Medicaid card in a way, because like say you forget your Medicaid card and you don't have it, and you're at the doctor and they're asking you what is your member ID, it's on your EBT benefit card. Let's get into the specific programs. I mentioned a few, but I just want to dive into them specifically. Start with SNAP. These are food benefits that you get per household. And depending if you're a one or more than that, they'll give you an allotted amount of money a month in order to survive. So individuals in a family of one get $292 a month. Families of three get $768 a month for SNAP. So a few things that SNAP does cover: fruits, vegetables, fresh, frozen, canned, and dried, meat, poultry, fish, dairy products, milk, cheese, yogurt, bread, cereals, rice, pasta, tortillas, snacks, foods and non-alcoholic beverages, seeds, and plants that produce food for the household. And what is not covered by SNAP: hot foods or prepared meals sold to be eaten right away. So that's like you're going to Whole Foods and I think some Whole Foods around here do accept SNAP. Purchase alcohol, cigarettes, tobacco with your SNAP benefit card. Non-food items, so no toilet paper, no soap, no. You can buy tea bags. You can buy loose leaf tea, I believe, but not tea bags. Vitamins, supplements, and other medicines, even if it's sold in the grocery store, those are not allowed. It's specifically food items, things that you can eat that are cold or not needed to be prepared or heated or anything like that. Another option is cash assistance, like I said earlier. So you have a cash assistance case as well. And cash assistance is something that they do give as well. They give you, depending on your household, but if you're a household of one, I think you get like $92 every 2 weeks or something like that. So they'll give you $92 every 2 weeks. And then that money goes onto that card. That $92 is usually deposited into like a debit account. So you can go to a bank, and withdraw that money. Not every bank lets you use your EBT card as your debit card. So we have banks around New York, like the Chase and the Citibanks, usually accept the SNAP card, the EBT benefit card, as a transactional card. So if you get $92 into your account, and you want to take that money out so you can, use the cash to put towards bills or to just have cash on hand, you can withdraw that money. You cannot do that with your SNAP money. The SNAP money is solely for food. For cash assistance, that $92 every 2 weeks can be for your toiletries, for your paper towels, toilet paper, toothbrush, soap, like all those, basic necessities that we need on the day to day. Each program has its own bucket of money that they drop the money into, and you can't like take some from another and, like say you don't use all your $292 for your SNAP benefits for the month. You can't say like, oh, I'm going to use the rest for my cash assistance and I'm going to withdraw that money. That's not how it works. The SNAP money is specifically for SNAP. You can only use it for food. So say you go to Trader Joe's, say you go to Target and you go get some groceries, and then you're also getting like NyQuil and Motrin, right? So you go to the cash register, you're going to swipe your card, and then you're going to pay for your food first because you want to exhaust the money out of the SNAP account. You don't want them to take the money that you need for everything else that you can actually use for expenses. So you're going to swipe your card, take all the groceries out, deduct that, and then you're going to say, okay, now you owe $20 more for the NyQuil and the Motrin, and then that can be taken out of your cash assistance. So when you are choosing SNAP, you choose food, and then it's going to take the money out of that account, and then it's going to ask you to swipe again. You swipe your card again for the other two items that are non-food items, which are the Motrin and the NyQuil. You swipe your card again, you choose cash. It's going to ask you sometimes, like, do you want cash back if you are in person? If not, like Amazon, they're not going to ask you that. Then you're going to put your PIN, put 2 times for the SNAP and then for the cash assistance. And then it's going to deduct that money, the $21, whatever, for those 2 items out of the pool of money from the cash assistance. So that's how I suggest you would do it. Don't do it the other way because, again, you don't want to take out any money from your cash assistance that you can actually use for bills, for things like that, or you have money in your hand versus the SNAP, which you cannot touch at all, only for food. Medicaid is another thing that low income to no income households qualify for under these government programs. And this you can go to accesshra.gov or you can go to medicaid.gov and you can look through your state to see what programs are available, how you can apply. And then there are different hospitals and doctors' offices that work with Medicaid in order for you, usually state and local hospitals, to get the assistance and the care that you need. Medicaid is usually low cost to no cost for copays, don't pay copay, or medications, don't pay anything, or you pay like $1, $2 or whatever for your medication, but usually it's $0. These programs are specific to your state. Fair fares is another benefit that actually was started by a grassroots organization, because the MTA would never. They are actually raising our fare by 10 cents in December, and it's a little sneaky, but whatever. But the Fair Fares is a half price MetroCard for low income to no income New Yorkers to get around the city. We have something called the Fair Fares MetroCard. That's our transit card to get around, to take the buses, the subways throughout the tri-state area. So that's the 5 boroughs: Brooklyn, Queens, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island. It's inclusive of the Staten Island Railway, the Roosevelt Island Tram, and the Hudson Rail Link. And then there's also availability to use it for Access-a-Ride. You can also probably get something for Long Island, but that's, again, a different subset of New York. So they have different rules that apply for like the LIRR, because LIRR is for Long Island, and that is Nassau County, Suffolk County, which is not in the tri-state area. So those rules would be different for that area. That's what I'm trying to say. Basically, it's about 50% off what a normal priced MetroCard, whether it's for the day, a ride, or the week or the month. So a monthly MetroCard, they'll give you 2 deposits throughout the month for a monthly MetroCard. I think it's about $32 for each payment. So that brings you to, or no, $33 for each payment. So that's $66 that you get a month for a MetroCard. For a monthly MetroCard, they're going to send you a special MetroCard in the mail. So make sure you look out for that, because that specific MetroCard's the only one you can use in order to access this benefit. Basically, they're going to send you a MetroCard in the mail. Once you are approved for the program, you're going to get into your mailbox, open the thing. It's going to be like, surprise, there's going to be a MetroCard in there. I don't know how they're going to do it now, actually, because we are getting rid of MetroCard as of December 2025, and we are now using something called OMNY. The way the system works now is that they send you a special MetroCard in the mail. You get the MetroCard, and then you can reload the money onto the MetroCard every month using your EBT benefit card. Month, you get 2 payments of $33. That's $66 a month for a monthly MetroCard. You're going to go to the MetroCard machine, but again, this is changing as of December 2025. You're going to put your MetroCard in the machine. You're going to put your debit card, your EBT card, debit card into the machine. You're going to choose ATM, and then you're going to put your PIN, and then it's supposed to be approved. Every month, they're going to re-up the money onto the card as long as you're using these government assistance programs. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think that they might give OMNY cards to those who use the Fair Fares MetroCard as the replacement, because MetroCards are going to be extinct as of December 2025. So they're probably going to send recipients for the Fair Fare MetroCard an OMNY card in the mail, and then you're going to use that card as your MTA card. Another program is the Home Energy Assistance Program, and this is when the state works with utility agencies like National Grid or Con Ed, and this is to help lower for cooling, heating costs, and gas. Especially comes in handy when there are spikes throughout the year, whether it is cold months or hot summers. People who are already receiving SNAP, cash assistance, Medicaid, or even the Fair Fares, you automatically qualify for this. So I would call your agency, so your National Grid, your Con Ed, to tell them that you are getting these assistance programs, and then you want to apply. Usually they'll say like, we're already on it, but just to make sure that they're actually on it, just call. So if you are in danger of having your water cut off, if you need emergency assistance, definitely call right away and let them know, because then they can put a hold on anything that's about to happen that is not going to work in your favor. Like I said, if you are already part of these programs, call these utility agencies and let them know that you are in this program or it's pending, so that they can hold off on shutting anything off or closing anything down. You don't want to be sitting in the dark. So do be proactive about it. But usually they already know that you are in the program or it's pending. There's also a program called Lifeline, and this is for phone and internet discounts. And this is usually to help with those monthly bills to make calls or use the internet at your home for Wi-Fi and things like that. Lifeline is a federal program that makes these phone and internet services more affordable for low income to no income households. A monthly discount up to like $9.25 off of your phone or internet bill. Well, it's phone, landline, and internet. It's not all three, so not both. So it's three. So you have three options, but you can't use it on all three. It's one or the other. The next program is called WeCARE, and this is a job placement training program that has a lot of resources to help people get back into the workforce for those who are disabled as well. WeCARE, wellness, comprehensive assessment, rehabilitation, and employment, a program for people who have physical or mental health challenges who want to get back into the workforce. So they're going to ask you to do two assessments. They're going to do a job assessment or like a work assessment of what your work history is, and then they're going to ask you to do a mental health physical assessment as well, medical assessment. If you have any mental health disabilities or physical disabilities, this program is great because it can help you, provide you with a lot of resources to help you get back into the workforce. I will say advocate for yourself because this is not a one size fits all program. Most of these programs are vocational, trade, healthcare workers, social workers. So they're going to do a health and work assessment to assess exactly what your capabilities are and aren't. They also help with employment services. So if you need help with your resume, interview prep, job readiness workshops. So they have workshops on how to interview, how to put a resume together. So these services are there for people who need it. They have referrals to training programs, and also you can do community service through these programs. Match you with a case manager, and this person's going to be on you. I think you do have to attend the workshops weekly, at least for the HRA. I would say that be vocal about what your situation is, because I don't see the need for someone to be in a workshop on how to interview when the issue is not how to interview. The issue is that there are more people unemployed than there are jobs available, but that's just me. If you have a disability, they can help you apply for those programs as well. So it's for any disability program to receive benefits from that. But yeah, so they provide workshops and training, so job readiness, resume building, and things of that nature in order to help you find a place of employment. There is also a program called Emergency Rental Assistance, and this is to help with people who are way behind on their rent. I don't think it works for people who have mortgages, but if you do pay rent, this is a very useful lifeline for you. So it covers up to 12 months back paid rent and 3 months future rent. And basically they pay the landlord for you. They'll notify you to let you know the landlord has been paid, so you know that the transaction has been complete, and then you have the peace of mind. This specific program funding is limited, so it's usually a first come first served basis when it is available. So even if the portal is closed for emergency rental assistance, just check back regularly because they might open them. They might, you never know what's going to happen. These government programs are always changing. Other programs you can explore, and these are the rest. So there's Summer EBT, and this is for food when kids are out of school during the summertime. There are child support services, ensures kids get financial support from both parents. Housing and support services for people experiencing homelessness. SSI and SSDI for people with disabilities. State supplement program, and this is extra financial help for seniors and disabled individuals. And then there's SNAP ED, and that's free nutritional education for SNAP users. General tips for applying for these programs: get all your documents ready beforehand, because that's the most daunting part of all of this. They're going to ask you very specific, very granular information. And like I said, be truthful and honest about everything that you are submitting through the Access HRA app or the mobile app through your state. If you do have to go through an interview, expect long wait times. Like I said, there are so many people unemployed right now, and more people than you think are using these programs. So these are long wait times at times. Sometimes you might get someone right away, sometimes you might not. But they're going to ask about your family history, your work history, all your money business. They're going to ask your medical history, everything that you can provide for them. Make sure that you get your documents ready early. Expect long wait times for the interview, for the phone call. And if you are denied, you can request a fair hearing because you have the right to appeal. That's it, you guys. Thank you guys for watching. I wanted to share this video mostly for transparency. I don't see any shame or pity in using these programs because I know a lot of people that are using these programs right now specifically, and they're coming to me and asking me like, what do you do? Because they can't find work either. And these are people who have 20, 30 years in their career, or even, 10, 20, 30 years. And it's kind of crazy that it's just the situation. But, unemployment exhausts. So then there's just like the next best thing. If you are struggling, please do not feel shame or stigma. Any negative comments that are pointed, I'm deleting them, because you're not lazy, you're not alone. It's these systems in place, institutions in place, the job market, the economy that is not sustainable right now for all of us to be working and thriving and surviving. So all of us are mostly in survival mode. So whether you are applying for bankruptcy, or you have credit card debt, or you can't keep up with the bills, these programs can help alleviate some of that financial stress and strain. And like I said, this video is for educational purposes only. I hope at least one person got some information that can help them at least get this process started, because there are resources out there. Like I said at the beginning of this video, please double check, because these programs are getting slashed every day by this administration. And yeah, it's hard out here. So if you are able to get all the documents needed in order to apply, please do so. I really feel that this can help alleviate a lot of stress in someone's life, even when it comes to like, how much are you going to save the month for food? Like, you might not be accepted into every program, or you might only be accepted into one program, but one program is better than none. Because imagine like, you don't have to worry about money, at least for the New York City residents, for a MetroCard. You don't need to worry about money for groceries. You don't need to worry about like, oh, you're going to get $200 a month that you can put towards bills with your cash assistant. So like, kind of thinking about this very strategically in order to take advantage of a system that's there for us to use. I believe after a year, you need to get recertified, but the goal is not to stay on these programs. It's to find work, but that's really dependent on the job market, to be honest. But thank you guys for watching. I hope this helped at least one person, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you guys. Bye.